St. Bonaventure Catholic Church in Huntington Beach, California presents
Rebuilt and Renewed,
Bringing the Word Home.
Happy Easter, and thanks for listening in to Rebuilt and Renewed. As we prepare to celebrate this fourth Sunday of Easter, also known as Good Shepherd Sunday, we recall to mind this tender yet strong image that Jesus gives us of himself. That he indeed is the Good Shepherd, the one who knows his flock and whose flock knows him. They hear his voice and they recognize him. He is a shepherd who goes out and brings those who are lost back into the fold. This week, Robbie Peyton shares with us a wonderful message about the goodness of our shepherd and invites us to encounter this shepherd by allowing him to hold us through it all.
When praying about what I wanted to share after reading this gospel, this one story just kept coming to my mind, so I figured I should share it with you guys. It's a story of Dick and Ricky Hoyt, otherwise known as Team Hoyt. When Dick was 22 years old, him and his wife, Judy, had a baby. Their baby was named Rick, and Rick was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, leading to him having cerebral palsy. And when he was born, the people told them, "You guys are young, you'll have more babies. Give him to the state, let the state take care of Rick." At this, Dick and Judy replied, "No, he's our son. We'll take care of him as any other son. We'll love him as any other son." So Dick and Judy made him part of their lives completely. They raised him just like any other kid. He would play hockey in the street with his neighbors. They would set up a wheelchair and put the stick in his hand. And they would swivel him around and let him hit the puck. Judy started to teach Ricky the alphabet. And people would say, "Why are you teaching him this? He can't talk. He'll never be able to use it." But she just pointed around the room and kept teaching him the different words and different letters. When Ricky was 11, Dick and Judy found this device that allowed him to speak using his eyes. He would make eye contact with different letters and spell out words. At this point, he was able to communicate, and he had been thinking this whole time. So Dick and Judy sent him to school, and his life continued pretty normally from there. But 2 years later, a tragedy struck their community. A high school lacrosse player at Ricky's future high school had an accident, and he became paraplegic. And they were holding a 5K to raise money for this student's family and to help with his medical bills. And Ricky came home from school one day, and he looked at his dad, and he told his dad, "Dad, we have to run this race. We need to run this race because I want this kid to know that life does not end just because you're paralyzed." Ricky's dad agreed with him, and he started to train. Dick was a 32-year-old man at the time. He didn't run, so he started to train, and he built this wheelchair that could be used for racing. And when Ricky was at school, Dick would load the wheelchair with weights, and he would train for hours. And then when Ricky got home, he would load Ricky in the wheelchair, and they would continue to train. So what started as a 5K became a new lifestyle. It was the beginning of Team Hoyt. Dick and Ricky Hoyt went on to race tons of races. They raced their last race in 2014. But over their racing career, they ran 72 marathons, 96 half marathons, and countless triathlons. Some of these were Ironman triathlons. Others were half Ironman triathlons. And in a triathlon, you swim 2.5 miles, you bike several miles, and you run several miles. And Dick would do all of this while holding his son. He would tow his son in a rubber boat behind him as he swam. He would then get to the shore and pick up his son and carry him to this bike and put him in the front of the bike. And he would ride for several miles. And then he would unload his son from the bike and he would load him into the racing wheelchair. And he would run. And he would run with Ricky in tow to the finish line. You see, Ricky wanted to race. And he wanted to do all these incredible things. But he had to do one thing in order to let these incredible things happen. He had to let his father get close enough to hold him. He had to let his father get close enough to carry him. When we look at the gospel, we see that Jesus is a good shepherd. And he'll do anything to protect his own, to hold his own. And we are his. I think so often that we find ourselves struggling in our faith. And we think, I'm too far away. Like, Jesus can't hold me anymore. He can't love me through this. But Jesus is there waiting for us just to let him hold us. To let him be with us. To let him help us through our struggles. To live the Christian life that we're called to live, we only need to do one thing. And that's to let him hold us in our struggles. You know, when Ricky and Dick were done racing, Ricky looked at his father and he said, Dad, when I'm racing, I don't even feel handicap. You see, the same is true. When we let Jesus hold us, when we let the good shepherd be our shepherd, our weakness doesn't even matter. Our brokenness doesn't even matter. We won't even feel broken anymore. Are you willing to let the good shepherd hold you?
In my confessional, I have this wonderful image of the Good Shepherd, and he's holding one of the lambs, and their eyes are locked. I love seeing this, and I love hanging this in my confessional because that's where the Lord wants us. He wants us to be held, and he wants us to see him and to allow him to see us so that we can hear his voice and recognize him and follow him wherever he goes. And if we have strayed away, we're reminded that the Good Shepherd is after us, looking for us, to bring us home, to bring us back into community. This week invites you to share this message with someone around you. Maybe the Good Shepherd's going to allow us to help shepherd other people back into the flock. There are no new building updates this week, but we encourage you to continue to pray for our project as it goes forward. Until next time, thanks for listening in to
Rebuilt and renewed.
Bringing the word home.